Hi,
Courtney. Hello! Welcome! I was singing a theme song before you guys.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. So happy and thankful for y'all to join us and for us to be here. We're so grateful for the opportunity to showcase these wines for you. Those of you who don't know, my name is Mike Heringer. I'm here with our tasting room manager, Courtney. The dynamic duo is what I've heard we've been called, but
I like it.
I'll let you decide. We're going to go through 3 wines. Just kind of while we're waiting, I hope you can hear a few of the birds chirp as we go through. Just a beautiful spring afternoon. It's starting to warm up. Just a beautiful day here in the Heritage Barn, and we're happy to be here live, coming to you live from the Heritage Barn. So we're gonna, while people are joining us, we're gonna kind of go through 3 wines. I'll introduce them a little bit before we get started. So we've got our 2018 Chenin Blanc. It's our current release. Beautiful crisp white wine. We got our 2015 fan favorite Tempranillo, beautiful Spanish variety that everyone loves. And then we've got, to finish off, we've got our big heavy hitter. It's our 2014 Petit Verdot. Big, beautiful Bordeaux variety. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So, good. How's your week gone, Courtney?
It's been very long.
We're just talking how long the week has gone.
It's been a long week. I still have 2 more days. You guys can come see me and pick up wine on Saturday. I'll be here. I'll be here tomorrow too.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's been a long week, but thankfully it's Thursday, and we're here with you. We're here with you this afternoon, ready to enjoy some wine.
Thank you.
So we'll start with our 2018 Chenin Blanc. One of the things that I've always kind of loved and had a challenge with Chenin Blanc is, need to move the bottle. Our producers tell them, move the bottles a little bit over.
Let's put them in front of Courtney.
Oh, put them in front of Courtney.
I can hide behind them.
Yeah, you don't want the wine in front of me for too long, I'll tell you that. But the Chenin Blanc has been just a beautiful wine here in Clarksburg, in the Delta. We've been growing it here from just about the inception of the region. And it is touted as being one of the 3 top places in the world to grow Chenin Blanc.
I didn't know that.
So
That's a cheers
we'll
to
cheers to that. So I had an opportunity to do an interview, and we were talking about Chenin Blanc, and I made that statement, and the interviewer asked me, well, who said that?
I just said.
And I knew I had seen it a couple of different times in different places. This is the, I'm just going to share with you, this is the World Atlas of Wine that we've got in our tasting room. And I've seen this quote a couple other times. Specifically, it references Clarksburg and to Chenin Blanc out of this whole book of about, 500 pages. It's huge. It's like the Encyclopedia of Wine. It says, the Sacramento Delta has a very different character and style from the rest of the valley. The influence of nearby San Francisco Bay is felt in much cooler nights than are found either south or north of here. Clarksburg, specifically names Clarksburg, in the northwest portion of the Delta, manages to produce particularly amazing honeyed Chenin Blancs. And then I've also seen it referenced in other books that actually puts the other 2 famous regions in the world along with Clarksburg. It references all 3 of them. You know what the 3 are besides Clarksburg?
Somewhere in France.
Yes.
I actually know this. In South Africa?
Yes. Oh my gosh. You did your homework.
Yay! I said I didn't prepare, but look at me.
So the Loire Valley in France and the Cape in South Africa are the other 2 places in the world that produce the best quality Chenin Blanc. So we're here. This has been a staple for our winery since we started. I think our first vintage was probably almost 15 years ago. And it's just been a beautiful wine. So Chenin Blanc can be made in a dry style, or you've probably tasted it as like a semi-sweet wine. We make ours in more of a dry style. Really highlights the vineyard characteristics and kind of the softness and the crispness of the wine. It's got a beautiful natural acidity. And one thing that's unique about Chenin Blanc in general is it can have just a really unique, interesting minerality that go along with some of the fruit and honey, the crisp, the crispness of the wines, the citrus characteristics.
Yeah, it always reminds me of biting into an apple.
Yes, yeah, or like a lemon, a citrus or lemon honey is what I'm getting as well. So. The one thing I love about this wine is it's so fresh, so crisp, pairs well with all sorts of foods from the salad course all the way to the main course because it's got such balance. It's got a smooth body, but it's got a great finish as well.
I don't think you should stick to one wine. I think you should just, this one can be your appetizer, and this can be your dinner, and this can be your dessert. Or this way.
Yes. Yes.
Drink them all, you guys.
Yep. So, just some fun facts about Chenin Blanc and why it's done so well here. When we first started producing, we had 3 varieties. We started with Petit Syrah and Chardonnay, and then I think the next year, or 1 or 2 years after those first releases, we introduced the Chenin Blanc. And this wine, because the region was so well known for Chenin Blanc, this wine was always kind of my love-hate wine because it got us the most publicity. Wine writers and judges really like to talk about Clarksburg Chenin because it's a world-renowned place to grow the grape. And so it's taken us, a long time of producing many other varieties to really showcase the diversity of the region. But Chenin Blanc is a real highlight for us here. So I hope you're enjoying some wine as at home on this afternoon. Courtney is, that's for sure.
I don't know if you guys have ever noticed the fronts of the bottles. So they're all different colors, and there's a reason for that. Do you want to tell them why they're different colors?
Yeah, it sort of reflects the natural character of the wine. So a lot of our whites have kind of this beautiful green just to represent the fresh crispness of white wine. I think a couple of vintages had a real nice blue, like not blue but violet,
yes,
and a teal blue. We've used that before on some of our whites. And then the kind of the medium-bodied reds have this beautiful bright red color to it, to the descriptors and the varietal name. And that just, and then we go to the heavy hitters. They're all in the kind of a beautiful, what would you call that?
Blue.
Beautiful violet, dark violet blue.
Ocean blue.
There you go.
I got one.
So the next wine, if you're just now joining us, we just finished our 2018 Chenin Blanc, beautiful, world-renowned Clarksburg Chenin Blanc. And then we've got our 2015 Tempranillo, and is in the middle, that's the middleweight class, and Petit Verdot, big heavy hitter, Bordeaux style of varietal.
This is one of my favorite wines here, the Tempranillo. It's one I share with everybody.
Yes.
And I was so sad when we ran out a couple months ago, and you generously took from some barrels and brought us back some wine. So I'm very excited to have it back in the tasting room.
Yeah, I think, and you could probably attest to this more, but this was our #1 seller for quite a few months, and it was the fastest that we've ever sold out of a wine
Yes.
that we bottled. So
Yes.
Thank you all for that, and we're super happy that you enjoyed it. Tempranillo has got a special place here in the Delta as well. We planted this back in 2006, so we've had it in the ground for quite a while. Learned a lot of great things after growing it for so many years. But this wine we sell to probably 20 different producers throughout California and the United States. And this variety from our vineyards has the most gold and double gold medals from all our producers. So the Tempranillo from our vineyards consistently produces just exceptional wine. So, and the 2015 is right there in line with it. This was aged, I think about 30 months, a little over 2 years in the barrel. And the thing about Tempranillo, I've always had a hard time putting my nose on the attributes of the aroma. And the best analogy that I've come up with, and it's like a Spanish flamenco dancer, right? You're gonna give us a presentation?
No, but if Jeanette were here, she could do it.
Do the dance?
Do the dance!
So just a really unique aroma. You can't really identify one particular characteristic. It's just really spicy and exotic, and it reminds me of that region, like a beautiful paella, right? It's got all the meld of all these unbelievable characteristics, aromas, and body. And that's what we get with this wine.
That was a pretty good analogy.
Thanks.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
I thought a lot about that.
Well, one paella would be great with this, but two, it's like you get so many really nice flavors. There's cherry and cranberry and some pepper to it. It's just my favorite. I just love it.
Yeah, and it's really got a soft, welcoming character on the body. So, like you said, everybody loves it, and I'm loving it right now. So, hope you all enjoying a glass of wine with us this afternoon. So, this one's one of my favorites. So smooth, elegant, but it's got a great structure. So just a really fantastic, diverse red wine, and again, just does extremely well in our region. We do a lot. This is one of the varieties, actually, along with Chenin Blanc. As if some of you might know, we're in the Delta, which is blessed with amazing water, right? We're the artery that runs from the foothills out to the bay, and the water runs through it, if you will. And so these are a few of the varieties that their varietal characteristics are quite vigorous. So they grow really fast, and they really love a lot of sun. And so it takes a while to tame them through deficit irrigation, so managing the water that we give them. The Chenin Blanc and the Tempranillo have similar growing characteristics in that they're very vigorous, and they're one of the few varieties that we have dry farmed here in our vineyards. So what dry farm?
I was gonna be like, I don't know what that is.
Dry farm is basically, it means what it says. So it means no water. You don't add any water. Usually we run out of water about end of May into early June, and we have to start supplementing the water as we see the vines start to contract and really show us that they want a little water. Those two varieties we can dry farm. So that again provides a lot of character and concentration to the wines. So
Fascinating. Something I did not. Now I can talk about that too.
Can't stop smelling this.
I already drank mine. I know that's a surprise.
I'm gonna go back for seconds on that one when we finish, but we're gonna move on here.
Oh, Petit.
Those of you that are just joining us, we're so happy that you're here. We're here at the Heritage Bar, and we've got our 2018 Chenin Blanc We just wrapped up our infamous Tempranillo from the 2015 vintage, and we're going to be working on our big 2014 Petit Verdot, another wine that's got a lot of great character and some fun stories behind it too that I'd love to share with you.
I think I'm going to pour myself more than Mike this time. I'll pour him a little less,
There you
me
go.
a little bit more, and then
Yeah.
we should meet in the middle.
There you go.
There we go. I like it.
You'll probably still beat me though.
I'm a professional. Now, the Petit Verdot, this you don't see a lot on its own, right? Isn't it more of a blending grape or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you normally don't see this as a varietal wine. And it's because it can be a little bit of a monster, so to speak. So big, bold tannin. This is one of the 5 Bordeaux varieties, along with Malbec,
Dang.
Merlot, Cab Franc, Cab Sauv,
Sauv.
and Petit Verdot. So this is one of the big 5 that's used in the traditional famous Bordeaux varieties. And this, normally it's used in small amounts because it adds so much complexity, so much body and character and color that it just takes a little bit to really, balance out a wine with some of those other blending varieties. But you rarely see it as a varietal designated wine.
Yeah.
But we've produced ours specifically for a varietal designated wine. And what we do to really soften the natural complexity of the variety, we really process it gently in the cellar. We still let it concentrate on all our vineyard techniques are relatively the same. We moderate our crop significantly, and we deficit irrigate and all of that good stuff in the vineyard. Hand leaf pull to get sun and light exposure into the cluster. Yeah, like my hand animations there. I talk with my hands a lot, so I'm kind of like this. I'll try not to spill on myself. But so the Petit Verdot, we really tried to soften it to make it really a beautiful standalone wine. And this wine, the aroma on Petit Verdot is very beautiful. It's traditionally, it's really accentuates a great floral, like a lavender characteristic. And you get that and it's very unique. You don't get that in a lot of red varieties. So
I shook my head like I knew the answer to that. I'm like, no, you don't. I didn't know that.
well, normally
but
we talk about
the flower.
fruit, right?
Yes.
Dark fruits,
Yes.
lighter fruits. Everybody knows fruits, but floral characteristics are kind of unique with aromas in wine. So that's one of the things Petit Verdot is really well known for, and that's one thing that this wine really has going for it. And the variety in itself, it adds just so much complexity to the blends, and then as a standalone wine, it's just unlike anything you've ever had.
It's phenomenal. I had people come and ask for it. They're like, I don't normally see it, and your guys' is so good, and so they are hunting for a fantastic Petit Verdot, and we have one.
Yes.
So it's always really nice to be able to share that with people.
Yep. And it's a little bit deceptive, right? Because it's got this beautiful, light, floral aroma, but then you go to taste it, and it's a whole nother world. It's just a party in your mouth, right?
Yes.
So.
Well, and the color alone is just.
Yeah.
I really like. If I could take this to a paint store and be like, "This is the color I want. Can you get me this?" I'd be real happy with that.
Yes.
But you can't do that.
Yes. You take it to Lowe's and have them scan it.
Yeah, I think
You
it'd
can
be
paint your
valuable.
room. You can paint your house that color.
I would love it. Like, what color is that? Oh, it's Petit Verdot.
Right? That'd be a hit. That's the hot new color for spring of 2020.
That's right. You guys.
Petit Verdot.
You guys.
Um,
Now I feel like I have to try to see if they'll. If I take it in there, do you think? I really need you to match his color. Do you think they do it?
I don't know. I think you should try
I'm
it
gonna
and
try it,
report
yeah.
back next week.
Yeah. Okay. I'm totally going to Lowe's or Home Depot, and I'm gonna be like, I want this color.
Yes. Maybe they can make it that scratch and sniff paint.
Oh, that'd be better.
And then you could have best of both worlds, right?
You're like, I'm ready for bed.
Don't even need to light any candles anymore. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
It was I don't know what happened, but
Yes. Well, thanks for entertaining us. I know we're kind of like going crazy here, but we've had a long week, and we're thankful to be able to enjoy it here with you today, this afternoon. I know things are really crazy, and we're just, hoping everybody is staying healthy and staying safe and spending good time with your family, your immediate family, and getting out and getting some exercise, right?
we talked about that last.
It's very important. I get winded walking 20 steps out in the vineyard, so that's a red flag. But
No, I have two boys, and I have one who is, he's happy, he's home, he wants to be home, he's a homebody. That's always the way he's been. When we're on vacation, 5 days in, he's like, are we going home yet? And I'm like, we're on vacation. And then you have my other son who is very much like me and likes to be around people, and he's having a hard time with this.
Yeah.
He wants to be with people. It's not the same as, when you Zoom or,
right.
It's nice you're able to see people's faces, but human interaction is something that we all need, and so he's missing that.
Yes.
And, so just be safe and, be thankful for what you have, you know, so, I don't know.
It's we're blessed because we're an essential business. We've got a beautiful agricultural product that we're trying to get to the table, and so we haven't stopped those efforts, even though we're managing things totally different to make sure we're staying safe and healthy. But we're blessed to be able to come out here and enjoy this, and we look forward to the future when in
we
the
get to see you guys
near
again.
future when we get to host all the family back. But the couple other things that I wanted to go in, specifically with Petit Verdot, that was a little bit of a side.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. This is fun. The growing of Petit Verdot, very, very unique, right? Very late ripening variety. Big, heavy, bold reds, Terral de Go, Cabernet Sauvignon. Petit Verdot is right in that class. Really late ripening varieties. And really small, tight clusters, small berries. I always say that the Petit Verdot looks like a little hand grenade. It's just a really small, compact cluster. And that's where you get a lot of that character and color from all that concentration. But it's not easy to grow. So in like the Napa Valley, it goes for probably $6,000-$7,000 a ton. And I never quite understood that until we started growing it. It's like, why is it so expensive? And it turns out because it's got a lot of those factors that make it a high-risk variety to grow. So it ripens really late. A lot of times into November. We won't harvest this till November. And as you know, between September and November, you've got a lot higher chance of fall rain, which can really impact the quality and the characteristics. So you've got that going for it, and it's a small producer, so it produces really small clusters. And in order to get the concentration in the wine, you have to maintain that vine balance with a lighter crop load, and so makes it more expensive to grow. But we are very happy to put it in the bottle,
it's so good.
And it's just a really beautiful wine.
How long do you age this one?
Oh man,
About the same?
Yeah, no, you could age this for 15 to 20 years easy. So just all the big heavy reds, the Petit Syrah, the Terral de Go, the Petit Verdot, they're in that 15, 20, and even 20 plus years. But this wine has been aging in the bottle a while, so we age the Petit Verdot for a little bit longer in the barrel, just to really soften things up and make it super approachable when we put it in the bottle. And so it can be enjoyed now, or it can be cellared and aged. We like to enjoy things now.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I can. I'm not very good at cellaring.
I know.
I don't know where that went. Oh, We had game night.
Oh, right. We drank it. Yes.
We had people over. It was good.
The other thing we've talked about quite a bit is we sell to, I think last year we sold to about 75 different producers, right? Really well-known wineries, and that's one of the reasons that I just love working here and being a part of what we're doing with so many varieties, is because we're able to go out to many different producers and compare wines. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
So we're going into their cellar, they're coming into our cellar, we're sharing samples, and we get to see what's working really well with our vineyard and their production styles, mm-hmm. and our production styles. And so I've really been able to master about 75 different producers. I've got all those wines cataloged in my head, and what they're doing in the vineyards, and what they're doing at the winery to make this wine exceptional. So we sold this variety to a winery in the Santa Cruz Mountains, really well-known winery in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and he deals with wines from different famous vineyards all over the North Coast, Napa, Sonoma, and the Central Coast, really sought after vineyards. And he gave us the kind of the ultimate compliment. It says every vintage, there's only a few vineyards that display just exceptional characteristics. Like it has that, he called it the it factor. And our Petit Verdot was one of them. Compared to other vineyards in Napa and Sonoma. So I'm really proud of that. That was a long time ago when I was a younger winemaker, and I didn't know everything, and I still don't. I know nothing, but it was just really humbling to be able to hear that from another winemaker that had been making wines from these famous vineyards for probably more than 2 decades, mm-hmm. and to call out our vineyard as having the it factor was something has stuck with me for sure. So
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of those experiences. So we love sharing what we have in our bottle, and some of it you'll find in other bottles from some of your other favorite wineries. So we're thankful for their partnership as well, and cheers to them.
I've had more cheers in the past half hour than I have the whole time we've been doing this. I like it so much.
Cheers Thursday today, so here tax day got delayed, but so
look.
We did. You called it. You figured it out.
Now I know the system. I know I just got to pour myself somewhere. That's good.
Yes. So that concludes our tasting. This is our 2018 Chenin Blanc, our 2015 Tempranillo, and our 2014 Petit Verdot. Really, actually, quite a beautiful complement of wines paired together. Nice. So I loved your idea about, appetizer, main course, and dessert. Have the Petit Verdot as a standalone, or you can have it with some fruit and chocolate and ice cream. But one of the other things that we're just so thankful for is all of your support over the last 2 months. One of the things that we did early on is we provided a special because we knew this was going to be a tough time for everyone, and it's been a tough time for us as well. And one of we had kind of 3 main goals when we started this whole this whole crazy time. One was our most important goal was to keep everybody employed, right? Keep all our salary employees and full-time staff employed as long as possible. And the second goal was to keep our vineyards maintained and growing a great crop for 2020. It's been a struggle, but we're still marching along. And I can't remember what the third goal was now, but it was to stay healthy and safe, right? But we did this, and we've got this this special that we put together for members and existing family members and new members that want to join the club. We basically made the club so accessible and our wine so accessible. We really presented this opportunity to basically trade cash for wine, to be able to support our staff and provide an amazing opportunity for everyone to enjoy some great wine at an amazing price. So you can visit that online. We've got promo codes available for you to join us and have your next great bottle grace your table. And we're so thankful for your support, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. So
Yeah.
thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time, and we will be signing off now. We're doing a dance, a sign-off dance.